All right, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm excited for this workshop. I'm excited to be here today. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I promise that you're not going to regret showing up live or even watching the recording of this workshop as well. And the big promise for the workshop, as you can see on the screen here, is the simple and free system for contractors to generate six figures in new sales opportunities quickly. Now, that's a very kind of bold, big statement, but it's not hyperbole, right? It's actually proven. It's a system that we use for a lot of our clients, and it's something that you can do for free. And how quickly, right? Like how quickly can you add up to six figures into your sales pipeline? And really, what we're seeing with, if you follow this model, you can get that now, this isn't closed jobs. This is in your pipeline. Get opportunities in your pipeline. And as quick as like 24 to 72 hours. And I'm going to show you kind of step by step how to do it. And let's say to be conservative, let's say you implement this strategy, you do everything we talk about on this workshop, and you really only get one solid sales opportunity as a result. Let's say you get one or two that turn out to be really good opportunities. And let's say that those opportunities are, you know, five, 10, maybe even $50,000 jobs. I promise you, it's worth the time, it's worth the effort to do this one simple technique that I'm going to show you today. And with that, if you hang on till the end, actually, I'm going to show you and I give you all of the kind of templates, the scripts that we use, so you can turn around this afternoon and literally take action, do this on your own as quickly as possible. Sound good?
Okay. Yep.
Give me a thumbs up in the chat if that sounds good to you. Okay, cool.
How do I do
Awesome.
it? Thumbs up.
You can just go like this too. Thumbs up in real life works just as well as the chat.
Okay.
Okay, so if there was a way, if there was a way for you to get repeat business from your past customers, there was a way for you to get quality referrals from past customers, if there was a way to revive those old, quote unquote dead leads, the ones that are just there and haven't done anything for months, weeks, years, or whatever, if there's a way to turn those into legitimate opportunities and start doing that in less than 24 hours, scale of 1 to 10, how important would that be to you? 10 being extremely
10.
important. Awesome.
10 for me. Hmm.
Sophie's a 10. These are so over the last several years, kind of the core issues or the core problems that I see recurring over and over again, especially with contractors, are what we have here, right? Getting qualified leads consistently is one of the biggest challenge that we see contractors having. They're struggling to have enough sales conversations every week. Their lead flow is unpredictable or sporadic. They're relying almost exclusively on word of mouth or referrals. They have a decent sized database of past customers, but don't really engage or email them regularly. Big one is they don't want to pay for shared leads. There's a lot of lead aggregator, lead providers out there, kind of some of the big names that are shared leads. They don't want to pay for those because they oftentimes end up being bad experiences or junk leads anyway. But the big one is they want a way or they need a way to get referrals from their customers that are happy that they've done great work for, but they're not really sure how to ask and how to do so on a consistent basis. We're going to talk about one particular. We're not going to get into every one of these problems today. We're going to talk about one in particular to help solve for some of that shot in the arm lead flow out of the gate. So here's the good news. I'm going to show you kind of proof how this works. I'm going to show you the simple, easy, proven
Oh,
system.
that's
Um,
Angela.
oh, you know them.
Yes.
Nice.
That's my meeting that I have with them after you.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome.
Oh my goodness.
So
Yay.
if you wanted to see after you watch this or obviously
I'm
you
gonna
guys are on here live,
screenshot
but if you're
this.
watching this, you can check out their case study. We this is just one of the tools that we used in their business. Obviously, we did more than just what I'm going to show you today, but they were able to get an extra 500,000 in new business in about 8 months. So you can watch that case study. And actually, what kind of was the impetus and what drove me to create this workshop specific for kind of the master builder community was the work we did with Ryan Babbitt, who's I think he's on the board or something for master builders, but we did this actually, the system I'll show you today is the only thing that we've done so far with Ryan. And this one thing is what led to a little over 700,000 in sales opportunities that were added to his pipeline in about a 4-day period. And we have a case study for that as well. You can check it out after this. But anyway, we know what we're doing. Obviously, I've got a little over a decade in sales and marketing. And at the end of the day, what I'm going to talk about is it's not rocket science, and marketing marketing is not rocket science really. It's so interesting that um, there's all these different things out there now. There's a lot of shiny objects. There's digital marketing, and there's traditional marketing, and then there's these other types of marketing, and there's social media marketing. And at the end of the day, like all of those things are just vehicles. They're just vehicles to achieve the desired result. At the end of the day, marketing has not changed as long as human psychology has not changed, right? Human psychology and how we tap into getting somebody's attention, getting them interested and aware of a problem that they have, and then presenting them, giving them that solution that your company, your business, your service, your products offer to solve that problem for the customer. At the end of the day, that really is the core of what marketing is. The vehicle, how we do that obviously changes with technology and time and how stuff um, has evolved over time. But at the end of the day, marketing is really just about tapping into the psychology of how humans make buying decisions. And this is just one of those things. The technique we're going to show you here in a minute taps into that core psychology of marketing and getting somebody's attention and getting them to take action. So here are kind of the three big challenges. The third one is the one we're going to focus in on, but the three biggest challenges that I see over and over again when it comes specifically to contractors is speed to lead being number one. Speed to lead meaning um, contractors are busy, right? Like you guys are out on the job site. You're really like technicians in a sense where you're really good at your craft. And I'm generalizing, obviously. Some contractors are like super good at marketing too, but the vast majority, you're really good at what you do, and you're busy, right? You're not necessarily responding to inbound leads within 5 minutes or less. And so that speed to lead is not something that most contractors have figured out or have a system in place to address. Automated follow up. Most folks don't have time to reach out. They don't follow up after that initial touch point, and so they're losing opportunities as a result of that. And then the last kind of big challenge, having a consistent follow up mechanism in place. Most contractors don't have time. They don't really know what, even if they did have time, they don't even know what they should be emailing out or sending out to their list when even if they did have a system to do that. We're going to talk more about the follow-up process and the rest of the slides today. Real quick though, just to kind of paint the picture of the importance of this. Why is speed to lead important? Now, there's a lot of studies out there in the last like decade that have been done. MIT and Harvard both did studies on the speed to lead statistics, and essentially, as you can tell, and this is stuff that as a consumer you probably experience as well when you are shopping for something or you're calling on businesses, contractors, etc. When that initial outreach happens, when the lead comes in, whether it's phone or it's a web form or whatever method that the prospect reaches out, really, if you're not responding within that first 3 to 5 minutes, the likelihood of conversion starts to drop significantly, right? And one
Yep.
of the big metrics that we see is within 1 minute, the big kind of impressive number, if you will, statistic, companies that follow up with leads within that first minute, they see on average a 394% increase in conversions. So those leads actually converting over time into a paying customer. And again, most contractors in particular don't have a way or don't have a mechanism in place to solve for this. And so the longer that time passes, the lower the likelihood of conversion. And so, for somebody reaching out to a contractor, whether it's through a web form or a phone call, like I said, just putting a very simple system in place to automate that initial response, we've seen huge success just by solving this one problem, right? And so having the automated system in place to do that is extremely important. Problem number two, that automated follow-up. What's interesting is that most most sales professionals, most companies don't follow up more than one or two times. Most actually give up after, I think the statistic is like 1.5 outreach or follow-up attempts is when most companies stop, right? They average about 1.5 follow-ups with an inbound lead or a prospect. And if you look at the numbers from that, another study that was done by Inside Sales, 7 follow-up attempts. So a company that is actually following up with a lead 7 different times over time, obviously not all at once, leads to a 15% increase in connections slash conversion opportunities. What does that actually mean, right? So let's say you've got a really good product, a really good service, you do great work, and let's say over the course of a month, you have 100 leads that come into your ecosystem. Now, out of that 100, just by the sheer nature of um, the quality of those leads, there's probably about, let's just say there's about 10 of those that it doesn't matter what your follow-up is, it doesn't matter what your process is. You could have just a terrible marketing or follow-up process. They're in so much pain. They need your product or service so badly that you're going to win their business anyway. So let's just say there's about 10 of those 100 that fall into that bucket. Now, the rest are kind of on a spectrum between, you know, following up a couple more times will lead to a conversion, and then there are others that are never going to convert, right? But let's say that out of that 100, you did actually have a system to follow up, 4, 5, 6, 7 times over the course of a week or two, and you got a 15% bump. Well, that's 15 more opportunities on top of those that are, they're gonna hire you no matter what anyway. Imagine if you had those 15 additional opportunities just by automating your follow up and having a system in place to follow up with leads that are coming into your ecosystem. Okay, the third issue or problem is consistent follow up, and this is what we're going to focus on for kind of the rest of this workshop in particular. Um, Having a method in place to regularly show up in your prospects and in your past customers' inbox, giving them a reason to engage and respond and actually engage with you. And these are just a couple examples, right? So something as simple, it's kind of funny, but something as simple as sending out a monthly email that is all the major holidays that
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
happen throughout the year, right? Happy 4th of July. Hope you're having a great hope you have a great month. Something as simple as, you talk about giving them a compelling offer, giving your list a reason to respond. I mean, this is silly, right? It's simple. Do you need any help with your roof? Give us a call. Something as simple as that, and I'm going to get into the psychology of that in just a second and why that works. But something as simple as that, when you compare, let's just use this example, a roofing company. When you compare a roofing company who's doing no follow-up, no consistent outreach, and they're not emailing their list every month, to a company that is doing something just as simple and basic as this, I can pretty much tell you 99 out of 100 times they are going to generate more opportunities and more business by simply doing this. Why? Well, we look at the statistics. On average, even something as simple as this Happy 4th of July email, on average, we see consistent emails like this will generate anywhere between like 2 to 6% response and conversion rates. So, say you got a very, very small list, you got 100 people on your email list, and you're sending these out each month. Two new opportunities that you wouldn't have had otherwise can be big, right? Especially if, depending on the price and the size of what you offer. But just being consistently in their inbox, and a lot of companies will look at this like, well, you know, they're very, very focused. And this is actually kind of a little bit of soapbox that I'll stand on with the industry that I'm in marketing, right? A lot of marketing today and a lot of marketers focus very, very heavily on what we call like bottom of the funnel leads, people that are in the buying cycle right now. They're ready to do business right now. And those are good. I mean, it's good to go after those folks. The challenge is it's a very small percentage of the market that is in the buying cycle immediately today, right now. So, how do we solve for staying in front of people when they're not in the buying cycle today? This is where that consistent follow-up comes into play. So these are more this is playing the longer game and actually focusing on staying top of mind, getting that brand awareness every month so that when somebody does come into the buying cycle, let's say I get your roofing emails every month because you came and inspected, or you cleaned my roof, or you cleaned my gutters, or you did some sort of service for me, and now I'm on your list. And I know that, at some point I'm going to need a new roof. I don't know when, but you've been emailing me for the past 2 years, and I see this message, and it finally clicks, like, okay, I moved from that, awareness, and I'm in your ecosystem, to now I'm in the buying cycle, and I'm actually looking for a roof. Who do you think I'm going to call, right? Who do you think I'm going to reach out to if you're the one that's been consistently emailing and top of mind in my inbox? Obviously, I'm gonna call the one that's been in my ecosystem, that's been providing and adding value to me, and so that's where this can become pretty powerful. You have to give them a reason to engage, though, right? And so this is kind of part two, giving them a compelling offer, giving them some sort of reason to reach back out to you. So this is actually the exact campaign, the exact message that we used for Ryan with Babbitt Construction, that generated that 700,000 in opportunities into his pipeline. And it's silly, it's kind of stupid simple when you look at it, right? All we did was send a text message out to his list. Now, it's important that I make it clear, like, we're not spamming people, we're not like sending stuff out, and I highly, highly discourage, don't send out cold emails or cold messages to people that are not people who haven't done business, or reached out to you in some way, shape, or form as a prospect or a lead. You don't just want to go buy a list and like spam the list. That'll get you in trouble quickly, and that'll tarnish your brand quickly, right? So in this case, we are sending this out to his past customers, as well as leads that are kind of in his ecosystem that haven't yet converted. So people that have raised their hand at some point and said they were interested in doing business. And it's a simple message, right? Hey, it's Ryan from Babbitt. Summer's ramping up. We're booking the schedule with projects through this year and next. Want to help you tackle all these projects you've been putting off. So we're offering a 10% limited time discount. If you're interested, reply yes. Now, let's kind of break this down, right? This is the key, is making a compelling offer. And this, by the way, spoiler alert, this is the one tactic that you can take away today and implement this afternoon to help generate. I mean, you may have heard the statement, like, there's money in your list, there's money in your email list, your contact list. And I'm a huge believer in that. Like, I think so many contractors are sitting on a gold mine, and if they were to simply start doing something like this, where they're making compelling offers, asking their past customer base, as well as prospects that haven't converted, asking them, "Hey, do you still need fill in the blank? Is this something that is this a problem you're still trying to solve?" And then making them an offer, some sort of reason for them to say, "Yeah, actually I am, and I'm glad you reached out," right? Um, so two examples. Obviously, we have the one I just showed you from Babbitt. Here's another one we did for a roofer over on the East Coast, and there was some kind of crazy weather patterns going on. So, he was speaking to that specific season and what was happening, and the offer was a complimentary inspection, something super simple. I think got like 26 or 27 inspections booked off of one simple text message, right? And so this is kind of the importance of the structure, and this is what you'll get at the end of this workshop as well. You get a copy of all this so you can put your own together. But you want to have a couple of key components covered in that outreach message. And I recommend if you can send this via text, that's ideal. You'll get a better response rate. I mean, the amount of people that are used to and actually prefer texting nowadays as compared to
Yeah.
just emailing or phone calls. I mean, the numbers are staggering. Like it's well over 63%, I think was the last study that I saw, prefer to do business via text. So it's interesting. So sending out an SMS, and here's the kind of the structure of that message. Like, hey, name, hey, contact first name. This is, and we'll use you, Sylvia. I'll use you as an example. Let's imagine you're reaching
Mhm.
out to me. Hey, Mike,
Okay.
it's Sylvia from G3 Junk Removal, right?
Yep, that is
Okay,
correct.
from G3 Junk Removal. Um, with summer coming to a close, we want to help you clear out all your junk, right? I'm just doing this on the fly, right? So we want to give them some sort of timely or relevant reference to something that's going on in the world or in the region or in the community that you're in. And it could be as simple as like we did here, with Ryan, summer's ramping up and our schedule's getting full. Um, so we want to help you get a desired result. We want to help you get rid of all that clutter that's built up around your home, or get rid of whatever that whatever what are the biggest things that you guys do, Sylvia? What are the most common junk removal
Well,
jobs?
we do a lot of donations as well too. I mean, not
Okay.
necessarily everything that we actually pick up, it's actually junk. And even though we do are in the category of junk removal, I don't like to call them junk removal. I like to actually um, address them as live pickups, just because once
Yeah.
again, a lot of the items that we pick up are donatable and they can be repurposed and recycled.
Yeah.
Um, and we also rent our dumpsters. So there's a
There
couple
you go.
things that we do that we can provide.
So we would figure out, okay, what is one of those common, like, what you don't want to do is put out a very, very super specific offer that may only apply to like 2% of your list. We want to have something broad
Right.
enough. We do want to be specific with a desired result, but we want to be broad enough with that it can apply to the majority of folks on your list. So again, we want to help you. Let's say we want to help you donate your fill in the blank. So we're
Unwanted items, yeah. Or
Yep. So we're offering a 10% discount or a limited time offer of some sort to our loyal customers. Interested? Reply yes. And it's as simple as that. It's simple as just, we call this a reply back or a hand raiser campaign, where all we're really doing, we're not trying to sell the thing. We're not trying to, I mean, this one actually, if I were to redo this message, I would shorten this. I'd probably cut this in half. Want it to be simple, to the point, and elicit a very simple response, like yes, raising my hand, I'm interested in what you just offered here. And sometimes people get a little bit bent out of shape, like, well, I don't discount, I don't do, it cheapens my brand, I don't do that sort of stuff. That's okay, that's fine. You don't necessarily have to offer a specific discount, but you have to put something here. And this all goes back to the psychology of sales, the psychology of marketing, human psychology, why people buy, why people take action. We want to give them some sort of reason. Like, we want to tell them, here's why we're offering you this. This is what's going on. Here's the result we want to give you, and here's a compelling reason to take action. And so that could be, if you're not a discount person, maybe it's some sort of limited time offer. Maybe it's, hey, if we come pick up your unwanted items, we'll throw in, um, normally we charge for every single item, but or let's say, again, Sylvia, you'll have to forgive me. I don't know your industry quite as well as you do, but let's say it's, hey, for every 10th item that you donate, um, we'll we'll give you two more for free, or we'll let you donate two more that we won't charge you for, whatever the case may be. But giving them some sort of discount slash limited time offer that's special, right? That makes that
right.
consumer,
No,
makes the customer
actually,
feel like, oh, I'm getting some sort of deal here, right? Like I should.
right. Yeah. So actually what you are going through right now, I'm the one that actually does it. And it's usually not a percentage that we send out. It's a $25 off your next junk removal
There you
um,
go.
booking appointment that I usually send out, and I usually do it for every holiday. But
Mhm.
is it that this is what you do then?
Yeah,
So
so this is an
this is
example
what
of
it
one of the
would
things
get
that we
it off
do, but
my hands.
correct. Yeah, one of the things that we do in our agency is this, but this is also something that I'm a huge proponent. Like anybody can do this, right?
Hmm.
This is something that probably 95% of contractors don't do anything like this. They don't do any sort of what we call reactivation, like hand raise campaigns, getting people to say
Hmm.
yes. And there's just so much opportunity that they're sitting on. If they just did this once a year, even just once a year, the amount of opportunity. I mean, Ryan's a great example, right? We've done this one time and he added 700,000 into his sales opportunity pipeline, right?
Right.
And just having that embedded into your company where you start sending these sorts of things out. Maybe it's twice a year, maybe it's once a quarter. I don't believe this type of offer should go out every single month. I think quarterly is probably the most that I would do. But
Hmm.
having a system in place to send out specific, relevant, timely offers, it's almost impossible to lose when you do this. It's almost impossible to not get opportunities that are sitting there that just need. I mean, you think about from your own behavior as a consumer. I know I'm guilty of this often. Amazon may send me an email or I may get a message from a company that I follow that I've purchased from in the past. Actually, this just happened to me with I'm a big Hoka. I love Hoka shoes. That's what I run in, and they just sent an email to me with a promotion they're running, and I went and bought shoes, right? Because I they made me a compelling offer with a desired result that I needed and a discount or some sort of limited time offer. And so I did it. So when we look at like retail, they obviously do this all the time. This is something that they're very good at. And we often will make the assumption that, well, I'm a builder, I'm a junk removal company. That doesn't apply to me. It absolutely does. This stuff, it's again, it goes back to it's human psychology. If we
Right.
make something as simple as, hey, this is summer's coming to a close and we're booking up for the rest of the year. We want to help you solve your problem. Here's a 10% off coupon. Here's a buy this, get this free offer. The amount of people that see that and will raise their hand, and if you think about it, a lot of it's because they're used to seeing this with retail. They're used to seeing this with
Hmm.
other forms and other industries. And what I'm seeing is this works just as well for contractors as it does in retail. Why? Because it's human psychology. It all ties
Hmm.
into that psychology of how people make buying decisions. Cool. All right. So has this been helpful so far? Good. Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Cool. Um, so just to recap, again, I told you it would be short and sweet. It'd be a quick workshop today. We covered these three things briefly, but we really spent the most time on the follow.
Consistent follow-up.
I wouldn't be a good business owner if I didn't at least tell you about our entire system, right? So you can do anybody can do all of this stuff that we talked about manually, or piece together different tools online. We do have a software that I offer called Contractor Hero. If you want to check it out, you can see all about what it is. Go to get.contractorhero.net. You'll see kind of everything we've built out. So there's my shameless plug. But really, the purpose of this workshop is to give you those access to those free gifts, right? So if you want to get the exact offer scripts, that whole structure that I just went over, kind of what we see working right now, I'll give you an automated follow up and lead nurture strategy. What I mean by that is I'll actually send you a Google Doc that has here's the cadence, here's how often, here's the spacing and the timing of those messages. I'll give you kind of a really kind of turnkey follow-up strategy that you can use in your business. And then um, for those that want it, like I'll actually hop on Zoom with you and we can create your custom offer. I'll do that for you as a free gift just for watching this or being on here live today. So how do you get that? Two ways to do it. You can either text directly to this phone number, 253-499-8199, text July 24 gifts, or you can just shoot me an email, mike@heromarketing.net, and I will hook you up with these slides as well as these free gifts here as well. But with that, questions?